What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Kinesio Outdoors gear review video. In today's video, I'll be talking about the Tricer RP Bipod. And I want to start by saying that I really like this bipod. There's a lot to like about it. There's a lot of really cool things about it. And honestly, hearing Drew talk on podcasts, he can either be taken as like contagious in a positive way or someone that you think is just kind of overstretching. And I'll kind of dive right into that with some of the claims that are made with this bipod. One of the claims is that it can fit Arca Swiss, Picatinny, or swivel sling stud. Kinda can fit swivel sling stud because they include in their package a conversion plate from swivel sling stud to Picatinny, and then they include two heads in the package. To me, it's kind of false advertising. It kind of works, it kind of doesn't. So yeah, my opinion on that marketing is kind of turn my nose up to it. I don't really think that's the best thing to do with your business. With that kind of personal opinion aside, let's dive into what I like and don't like about this bipod. So one thing that I like is the package deal that you get. You get long legs and then you get short legs, which I actually don't have right here. That's really cool if you're the kind of person that likes short legs for shooting off the bench at the range and then likes the longer legs for hunting. It's nice because the long legs, as they get extended out, I'll pop them down here, you actually get a really wide base of support, and it just makes it feel a little bit kind of less stable. And the reason being is, like with physics, if you have a longer resistive arm, then you can actually have an easier time bending something. So that's just like a simple physics thing. I can bend something easier if it's longer. If I reach out longer, I can bend it easier than if it's shorter. So that's something where it's cool that they just include both, and then you can kind of decide when to use either one. There's just a lot of versatility in that. Really, really like that. I like the fact that you can do Picatinny or the Arca Swiss mount by just replacing this head here, and they include that in their package. Again, super cool that they do that. It's really nice, especially if you're someone that you start out with Picatinny, maybe you do or don't like it, maybe you have Picatinny for one reason and then Arca Swiss for another, maybe you have different guns, one with Picatinny, one with Arca Swiss. It's cool that they include it so somebody can just use all of these different things with just the one bipod. You don't have to buy two bipods. That's something that I really admire about the way that this is set up. I like that it's easy to do these buttons to open it. That's something that's nice. These buttons are really big and they're oversized. So I was wearing wool gloves quite a bit this fall. Another video on wool gloves later, but I get really cold really easily. I don't have a ton of body fat and it's a bummer. So it was nice to have these buttons to very easily open and close, open the legs, close the legs, so on and so forth. These oversized buttons are really nice. They're really smooth, and it's really easy to feel them. So I really enjoyed that about this this bipod. It's super fast to set up. You can see me playing around with it with my ADHD over here. It's super fast for me to manipulate it. If you ever watch videos of Drew manipulating it on any podcasts or any YouTube videos, it's super quick. In fact, I was able to quickly and very easily get set up on a white-tailed doe 115 yards away. I saw her, somehow she didn't steer hear me. It was kind of raining, so that's probably the large part of it. I saw her, knelt down, and then actually got on my butt, extended the legs all the way out, and I was stable on her in, gosh, 10 seconds max. I was trying to kind of be quiet and purposeful with my movements, but it's very, very quick and easy to just prop these open and then extend the legs all the way out. I also really like how long these legs are. I like that they're long. I don't mind that they stick out as far as they do because I have a 24-inch barrel on my rifle. That is something that you could see as a downside. I like the length of these legs. I'm just under 5'10", so I can actually sit on my butt with these legs fully extended and can be very comfortable in my shots. So I really like that. Let's see. Something that I disliked, and this is kind of a rob Peter to pay Paul thing. So this swivel adjustment, this is the lever for it. So that's to unlock and that's to lock it. When it actually came where this was locking higher up. So it was hitting this lever, which is what locks it to my Picatinny rail attachment that goes on my swivel sling stud. So what I did, and they make this so that way you can, let's see if I can show, there's an Allen screw on the head of this knob. You can loosen that up, pull this out, and then rotate it a little bit to get it the way you want it. That's cool, I like that, it worked. But just the length of it, it's kind of one of those things where it's nice and long, so that way when you're reaching forward while laying on the gun, you can grab it easily. But it was so long that I wasn't able to get super, super tight with this. Just kind of one of those things, you can't win them all. Now, I like that you can swivel the head, or excuse me, you can rotate the head left and right, and then you can also actually pan. That's something that's really nice. I didn't think I was gonna care about the panning. It's one of those things where if I didn't have it, I don't know if I would like it, but now that I have it, I don't know that I'm gonna go away from it. It's a really nice feature to have. If you have a deer that moves just ever so slightly, you can just simply pan a little bit rather than having to get your bipod up, readjust, and then put it down on the ground. Maybe you're on rocks, maybe that makes noise. It's really nice to have that pan feature. I really like the weight of this. It's super lightweight and somehow it feels strong for the weight, which is really, really nice. I mentioned that if you have the legs all the way extend out, yeah, it's easier to experience some bending with it. That's true. That's just the way like torque works. However, I felt really stable with it. My gun's 11 pounds and I never felt like my gun was too heavy for this bipod. And trust me when I say my gun's probably one of the heavier guns that you're gonna encounter in the woods. I quickly got set up on another deer on a different hunt at 719 yards. I got set up on my butt. It was across a canyon, didn't take the shot, but it was pretty cool that I was able to get set up very quickly. I adjusted one leg longer than the other, and then I had to pan just a little bit to get really, really comfortable on it. Couldn't tell what it was, too far for a shot for me. I really was able to set up quickly. Before we get on to my kill story with this bipod, I will say that there is something that I don't like, and I kind of might have an idea for this, but it'd have to be like really purposeful manufacturing. So there are these screws on either side, so you can take out the long legs and put in the short legs. That's super cool. It adds to the versatility of it. I don't want that to be changed. However, because you have these two screws, I'm wondering if the threads got a little bit compressed, stripped down, beat up, because I have my screws almost all the way perfectly flush and this one's slightly out, ever so slightly, like an eighth of a turn. These two are pretty close, about an eighth of a turn, maybe a 16th of a turn. And let's see if I can show it. So I have some play here. I have tightened this down once before and I still have this play. I wonder if there was like a notch drilled in, like a drill pressed in, so that way the end of this screw fits into that spot. That would require like very purposeful design on the manufacturing side of things. That may help this. I have seen videos on the internet where somebody can just screw and then the whole leg kind of comes off. To me, that's not the biggest deal. You can tighten it up, but I just am worried that this is going to be one of those things that could just get worse and worse and worse over time. Luckily, the Tricer team has an exceptional warranty, which is another part of the reason why I wanted to try this bipod. I knew that if anything happened to it, I would be taken care of, just the way that Drew and the people over there kind of handle things. Overall, I really like this bipod. Now to get to my favorite part of using this bipod. Roosevelt elk hunt in Oregon. Saw a bull 384 yards away, and there were actually two bulls. Well, the guy that I was with had to lay down on his pack. It took him forever to get set up. He had the hardest time getting set up. He was moving his pack, he was adjusting his pack, trying to get his fist under the front of the gun. The whole time I was just sitting there. It took me 10 seconds to get set up. When you practice, you get really fast with it. I was sitting on my butt. I actually grabbed my pack, put my pack under my elbow. So now I had a front rest with the bipod, a rear rest with that, and I was able to make very accurate and precise shots. I was incredibly stable for 384 yards. I felt more stable at 384 yards with the way I was than I do at 100 yards at a rifle range, you know, where you just rest the gun on the front of the bench. No rear support, no bipod. I was super stable, made really, really great shots, and that confidence came from having this bipod. And I know that because I was able to sit down. I was able to lean forward into the bipod a little bit, really get my front pressure just the way I like it. I was able to stay in the scope, and I watched the elk that I shot drop after the shot, which is pretty rare for me. I'm shooting a 6.5 PRC. It's not a giant gun, but just it really helped with recoil management. I'm gonna keep this bipod. I don't know that I'm gonna get rid of it. The value is incredible. I'm a really big fan of that. I would just like to see if there's a way to make this lever a little bit shorter. Maybe make it like a really big knob, like a knurled knob, so you could use it with gloves. I don't know if that would be a good idea. That's up to the Tricer team to decide. And then also, I've experienced this leg wobble, and I've seen other people on the internet experience this leg wobble, where it's not just the lower one, it's the whole leg twisting. Those are my complaints about it. A lot more pros than there are cons. I really like this bipod. I'm a big fan. I can't wait to see what else they're gonna come out with. So if you have any questions about this bipod that I can answer, feel free to drop a comment below. Other than that, I wanna thank you all for watching this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.